Oh. Bet you didn't expect to see this anytime soon. Hello. I finally decided to do a TG Geneticist tutorial. Did the Paradise one. TG is much more different than Paradise, which is what makes it need a separate tutorial. It's also, in my opinion, more fun. Although I'd say it's easier because it's not like heavily RNG based like Paradise Genetics is. At least to my knowledge, it's very RNG based. But yeah, some things have changed in TG since I've last played. Uh, Genetics used to be in medical, and you used to have like medical access. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. I don't know if that's just because I've freshly compiled this um, build or whatever. Why is this there? Um. So yeah, you actually getting through science now, and you don't even have access to the cloner room, which is crazy to me, because it Gen X has always been. You have access to this room, but as you can see, you can't get in there. I'm sorry about chat here. Uh, it isn't fancy chat or whatever. I don't know why it's not working, so I can't like make the text bigger or smaller. I don't know what that's about. I apologize for that. So it's probably going to be hard to read stuff that pops up here because it's so damn small for some reason. I don't get why that's happening, but we're just gonna have to deal. But, so, this is where genetics is now. So you don't even have to worry about cloning and stuff. It's not part of your job anymore, I guess. They just remove that. I guess it's because geneticists weren't really doing that stuff to begin with, so they just moved them to science. I don't know how recent of a thing this is, because I have not played SS13 in quite a long time. So this could, for all I know, be like a year old. But yeah, so genetics is here on TG now. I showed you how to get there from arrivals just in case, I didn't want to start in here. But yeah, so let's get started, shall we? Now, I'm going to show you the easy and the hard way, hard in massive quotation marks because it's not really that hard, to get a monkey into human form. So, under this folder, you've got some little pills here that are hidden. Now, these mutadone pills are fucking 50 units each. You don't need that. So you go and I'm going here and I'm just going to take this eyedropper and this beaker. They're also beakers. You could probably take these beakers down here without making anyone mad. But yeah, the eyedropper, that's the only eyedropper I know of that's immediately available here. So take this beaker, get a little bit of water in it from the sink. Man, you really can't read that blue on. I'm sorry about that. Luckily, there isn't a whole lot of information going to be shown through chat in doing all this. There's a little bit, but I should be able to highlight stuff to show it to you. Anyway, so you've got a little water in there. You're gonna go ahead and just dissolve one of these mutadone pills into that water, and it'll instantly fill the beaker up. And change the transfer to this eyedropper to 1. Suck some up, target the eyes, and squirt it on a monkey. And now you've got a very easily... Oh god, it's loose. Okay. Now you got a human to do experiments on who is wearing, might I say, some very, very erotic lingerie. But go ahead and put him in here if you remember how to do it. Close him in there. Alright, so here is the very vastly different thing between Paradise and TG. Totally different, if you can't tell. So you've got your unique identifiers here, which is, I'm not going to go into this, just warning you ahead of time. This is actually pretty much the same as Paradise Genetics. It's just these 7 things, and you change the pulses of the radiation and stuff to try and change these into different things. These are just things like your hair color and shit like that, skin color, so on and so forth. So if you want to mess with that stuff, just mess with it. I'm not really gonna go into this because most people don't. And then here is this genetic sequencer is your main thing you're gonna want to look at. So how does this work? First off, you can scan them if you want to. That obviously opens the scanner. This locks the scanner, so no one will come and fuck with it. Hopefully. They can just unlock it here, but anyway, I digress. Scrambled DNA, we'll get to that later. Mutations, we'll get to that later. Once you can save mutations individually and they'll come up here. Much easier than Paradise Genetics, or at least the way Genetics and Paradise used to be. Don't know if they've changed at all. We'll see. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if they've changed. You don't need to do that because I don't really give a damn. Anyway, genetic sequencer. So you'll notice that all of these different little things all have a number, which is going to be important a little bit later. So probably like, what the hell? Let me find a good one. This is not a good one to start with, and I'll explain why later. Here's a good one to start with. Okay, so I'm going to throw it up on the screen right here as I explain this. This is sort of only for me, for when I'm editing this, to remember to do this. So this probably looks confusing as hell, but it's really not. So C's always go with G's. A's always go with T's. As you can see in these complete ones, X's represent an empty space, basically. So, knowing that G's always go with C's and A's always go with T's, and vice versa, meaning it doesn't have to be A on top and then T, it can be T on top and then A. So, find your first little link here, and it's very important you try and find your first one that has no double X's, just to make your life a little easier. Try and find someone who has, one that does that. And what I mean by that is every person has different mutations. Every monkey you make into a human is going to have a different set of 8 mutations in them, hence the numbers. There's like 51 of them, I think, altogether. But anyway, I digress. So, did I accidentally click away from that good one? I think I did. Okay, this is it. So, let's start, shall we? Hopefully you can see all this. I don't think I can make this window any bigger. But anyway. So, CG, GC, XC. We know that the only thing that could go with G's is C's. Or the only thing that could go with C's is G's. So, you click G. Click OK. That one's done. Then you find your next X. Alright, it's an A paired with an X. It's gotta be a T. So, you click that. Alright, again, a T paired with an empty space. That means it's gotta be an A. A, then it's a T. It's a T, then it's an A. It's another A, T, T, A, T, G. So this is a G. So this will be a C. And voila. Oops, that one didn't. Oh, a little bit of space lag there. And see, this is, we've accidentally found the monkified gene. So, basically, this is the gene that we undid by you giving it mutadone. So now I can sort of teach you the hard way. So in here, you'll see that this is now a monkey. It's a monkey now. So the hard way of changing a monkey into a human, hard in massive quotation marks, is you gotta wrangle a monkey and shut him in here. And that's the only hard bit. So we've accidentally turned this human into a monkey by figuring out what this gene was. All you gotta do is change one of these to an X, and he'll become a human again. That's why there was lag there, because it was changing the human into the monkey. So he's back into a human. So now you don't want to touch this, and you'll notice on these little windows, this one's green now. That means we've completed that one. And now if you want to, well, we already changed it back. If I wanted to, I could have saved the monkey mutation in here. Don't really need to do that. You can if you want to. But let's move on to one that's a little harder. That one's too hard. This one is also too hard. And you'll see what I mean eventually. Okay, this one's not. This one's easy. So, here's your big. This is gonna be your nemesis in doing this genetic stuff. Is these double X's. It's the only thing that really makes this difficult, and it's not even really that difficult. So you ignore this at first. Go ahead and complete this strand. So this is going to be a G. This is going to be an A because it's paired up with a T. This is going to be a G because it's paired up with a C. This is going to be G paired up with a C. This will be T. I think I've probably explained that well enough that I don't have to keep saying it. But yeah. So you just fill this out. So we only have on this strand one double X. So that's really easy to deal with. You just brute force it. So you start out with A. Also, it's good to remember which one this is. You don't want to brute force it, forget, get distracted by something, and then you can't remember which one it was that was the double X. But anyway, I digress. Try and pair it up with T, and that worked right away. So we just got lucky. This was an A and a T. To brute force it, you just, if A and T doesn't work, then you change this to T and A. If that doesn't work, change it to GC. If that doesn't work, change it to CG. And eventually one of those four combos will unlock this. So insulated, the affected person does not conduct electricity. That's pretty good. So what you want to do, you want to click store. Now, if you click on this mutations tab, you're going to see it in mutation storage right here, which is pretty dope. So, and you can also, if you want it, print a mutator, inject yourself. Boom. So, you might see that there's also something called print activator. What that means, and that is important, is you can scan people with this. Let me close this. You can scan people with this little genetic sequence scanner that you got down here. So that this right here, the insulate is mutation 36. When you scan someone with this, it will give you a list of all the mutations they have. Now, I probably didn't start out with mutation 36. I probably only have that because I injected myself. But if a person has this dormant gene in them, you use an activator instead of the what's it called, the mutator. And what happens when you use an activator is you get a chromosome back into the injector, and you put that in this, and it stores this chromosome, which can then be used to modify a mutation further, depending on what chromosome it is. And hopefully I'll be able to show that off a little later, but I'm just gonna have to make a lot of monkeys human, which isn't a difficult thing to do, but it's just gonna take a little while. So we've got that now. As you can see, it's turned green. Dope. You're wondering what advanced injectors does? Click new selection, name it whatever you want. Oh, that's not right. Baba Booey. Okay. And then what you do, for some reason, you go to mutations and you click it from here. You cannot add it to an advanced injector. You can only add things to an advanced injector when you on the actual person. So you just click this button if you want, and you click whatever. So basically it combines a bunch of genes into one injector, so you don't have to make a bunch. That's all it is. It's not super useful, but if you want to give, people a bunch of mutations all at once, that's the way you do it. So I guess really it is useful if you've got a bunch of good mutations. You've just got to constantly swap, the humans in and out to get all of the genes you want into said injector. So you just click advanced injector, click Baba Booey, click this. You can't actually put that in, but you'll see. I'll print one out later. So let's click this one. This one's easy. I'll run through an easy one real quick. Just see what we get. Where did I miss? Okay. Geneticist. Pretty cool. Can make snow. Click that on the advanced injector and also store it. So I already have the insulin, but as you can see down here, this is what is in there. And then if you want to go ahead and print it, you can print it. I don't think that deletes this if I print it. Yeah. And then it's got a cooldown. New selection. Dewey. Then adds a new one. So you can then choose when you're adding stuff from this screen. You can choose which one you want to put it into. So that's advanced injectors. Go ahead and stick that in me. All right. Also, you may have noticed there's a radiation level. It doesn't really go up that much. It only really goes up a lot when you scramble someone's DNA or you're doing the unique identifier stuff. So you might want to have some medication on standby if you want to lower your subject's radiation level. It's a good thing to have. Just ask chemistry. So let's look for one with a double. Okay, so this one has a double X. Here is, and some of them will have triple, quadruple, double X's. There are a couple ways to deal with that, and by a couple I actually mean a couple. There's two ways to deal with this. So first off, let's go ahead and complete this. Probably getting tired of watching me do. Actually, is this a... Oh, this is a triple. Okay, this one's gonna be tough. So A's go with T's, yada yada, G's, C's go with G's, A's go with T's. Now is that all except for the double X's? Okay, first way to deal with an X. Joker. You've probably seen this and wonder what it is. So you select Joker, click OK, and it figures it out for you. And you can do that. Thing with Joker is it's got a super long cooldown. So, as you can see, it's not there. So, the other way of figuring out what those X's are. Now, the reason you don't want to brute force this at this point because there's too many combinations. Even if you like go through the 4 here, it's not gonna tell you that one of those is right. And so it's like, you know what I'm saying, you'd have to luckily brute force both of them to be right at the same time. It would take a while, and it's not worth it. So, this is mutation 16. Why don't we first scan ourselves? We have mutation 16? We don't. Okay. It's time to make some monkeys into humans. And I will show you how to deal with the old, what did I do with that eyedropper? Shit. Uh-oh. But, no, I just checked my backpack. Uh-oh. What did I do with it? I probably threw it, knowing me. I used it on... Did one of those monkeys take it? I found it. This goddamn monkey fucking had it. Goddamn fucking monkey. Jesus. I spent... You see all this shit that I threw off the desk? I edited that kerfuffle out for you guys because Jesus Christ. I can't believe this stupid fucking monkey had it. Alright. No more monkeys. So... God, I forgot what I was doing now. Why does everybody I create have sexy lingerie? Anyway, so we've got 2 more people. So which mutation are we looking for again? Mutation 16. So let's see if this has come off cooldown yet. No, see, that's a long ass cooldown because I spent a good minute and a half looking for that eyedropper. Alright, so click this. Sorry, my thing's all fucked up. So this person doesn't have it. Click this one. Man, even this isn't like, won't update. This person also doesn't have it. So what we can do is I can show you what scrambled DNA does. We're gonna do that now instead of making more monkeys. Gives you a lot of radiation, as you can see. But it keeps the monkified one done. So now we can open this scanner. And now, I don't know why I left this person's stuff will have changed. So as you can see, it is oops, didn't mean to do that. This fucking, I'm so sorry about chat being unreadable. I wish I knew how to fix it, but oh, fuck it. So, the justices was like 3, blah, 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 blah. And now it's different. Still doesn't have 16, right? 16 is what we want, yeah. That's fine. We can scram, okay. That one's on cooldown. Luckily, there's 3. Of course, you might have friendly other geneticists here, so you might not be able to do this. So the other way you would be doing this, damn, no, it's 16 still. Alright, we're gonna have to make some more human monkeys. Alright, so I made a bunch of test subjects, and I can't for the life of me find fucking mutation 16. So we did find another one though. So I'm going to do that one instead. So mutation 15. As you can see, we've got triple double X's again. So let me go through this real quick. I apologize for all the editing breaks in this. This is probably gonna be my most edited fucking tutorial because of all the shit that I have to, like, you know. So there's still some RNG. Anyway, that's all of those. So we've got 1 pair of X's, 2 pair of X's, 3 pair of X's. We're gonna go ahead and Joker still isn't ready. So that thing's got a crazy cooldown on it. So, mutation 15. So, this guy up here, gonna go scan him. Gonna see that he has mutation 15. So I scanned him. So now, with this in your hand, activate it. Then you want to click mutation 15. Then it's going to tell you all of that. So you go back here, and the way you read this is a top. This is so like ATXX, ATXX, and you read it like that. So we're all good with that. But our fourth, so after the jet dash, so we see that this is GC, which means this is GC. And I want to try it. So apparently you can, with this active, you can click this, but it doesn't, and it transfers stuff over to it, but I don't think it like automatically fills those in, unfortunately. That's what I was wondering. Okay, so this is a C. Let's see if we've got the next. And so TXAT, we know this is an A and a T. So basically what this is showing me is if I had put this guy up here and here and was editing his stuff, this is what his would be. So you're basically cross-referencing genetic, whatever, between two people that have the same dormant mutation, but one person is going to have different things filled in. So that's how this works. And it'll be much easier on a crewed station where you can just go around and click on your fellow crewmates because it doesn't do anything to them. You just see it, and if they've got a mutation that you're working on, you activate it and you figure that out. By the way, that has a cooldown. When you do this and click OK on one, it takes like a minute before you can do it again. Anyway, so the second set is X and C. So this will be a C, and we know that C only goes with G. And now, space adaptation. A strange mutation that renders the host immune to the vacuum of space. And you still need oxygen, though. That's a great one. We'll store it. So you might have noticed there's this little thing called instability. So, if someone has this inherently in them, this mutation 15, and you print an activator, we'll go ahead and do that now so you can see the chromosome thing. So he has 15 because I drew his information. So I injected in him. I should get, this will be full again. And then I use it on this. And it should suck out the chromosome. Hopefully. Yes. Power chromosome. So we have the power chromosome now stored in there. I think it just eats that syringe. I don't think you get it back anyway. So there's a chromosome, and so I'm gonna look over at the wiki because I don't have what each chromosome does memorized, so I'm gonna read it to you now. So power boosts the strength of certain mutations. Experiment with super sneeze or even deadly fireballs. There's also one called stabilizer, which reduces instability gained from it by 20%. There's the synchronizer chromosome, which reduces the downsides of a mutation by 50%. Energetic chromosome reduces cooldown on action-based mutations, and reinforcement makes the mutation immune to mutadone. So how you attach this, you click it and it'll come out, and then you can put it back in. I think you can put it back, yeah. So you can only attach the chromosomes to a person that's in the scanner. You can't just attach it to a genetic, you can't attach it to the mutations in here. you have to do it directly to a person. So if you click this and you've got chromosomes, that means that chromosome that you have cannot be used with that mutation, which means that if a chromosome doesn't affect a mutation in any way, you're not going to be able to attach it. So as you can see, none of these can actually be affected by the power chromosome. We'll see if I can't unlock something that might be able to. So that's chromosomes. That's how you deal with them. That's how you attach them. So the other thing I was saying, instability. When you activate a gene that is already in someone, so you scan them with the scanner and they've got, 15, and you activate it with a activator, they do not gain any instability. You only gain instability when you inject yourself with a mutator and you have the instability next to each mutation. You do not want that number to exceed 99, or else bad things will happen to you. Let's just put it that way. So your limit is 99 instability. So you cannot be an all-powerful god, unfortunately. You can come close, but yeah, you gotta keep track of your instability if you're injecting yourself with mutators. And that's a scary thing with the advanced injectors. You gotta be absolutely sure what you're putting in there and add up the numbers to figure out the instability. But let's see. You can also scan yourself, of course, and see which ones you have that you could potentially activate if they are indeed a good thing. We've only discovered good things so far, which is interesting. So we'll be able to do this one. There's one more thing I need to teach you, and I'm trying to possibly get a scenario where I can actually show it to you. But so far, this one doesn't have a double, and the Joker is not available. Fuck. Sometimes it's hard to see which ones have doubles if you scan it too quickly. So this has a double. I don't have that available. It's mutation 9. Let me see if any of these things, guys, people, things, have mutation 9 on them. Okay, this person has mutation 9. Dope. Okay, so I just scanned them, so their mutations are going to be the ones that are going to be saved in this. Mutation 9. Hopefully this helps me. There is the chance that you do this and it's not going to have any valuable information for you. You could really have bad luck and it won't tell you one of the things you need. Chances are it's going to tell you what you need to know, but in that case you just gonna have to find somebody else that has that mutation and see if their information helps you. Or, like I said, wait for Joker to come off cooldown. So we know that this is a C, which means this is a G. And then it's the first one of the third. So we know that this is an A. Oh, Joker came off cooldown, which means this is a T. Cryokinesis lets you shoot ice beams, basically, if I remember correctly. Hold on. We'll stick that in me. Yep. Activate it. Pew! Nice. So I'm not having any luck with showing. So once you've completed a person, basically just scramble their DNA and start all over. That's what I don't really think there's any point in keeping someone that you've completed. So this is what I wanted to teach you, is the combine thing. So basically you click combine and then another one and you can end up with some special mutations. Now, none of the things that I have actually combine. It's supposed to say something that combining failed or something. I thought it did anyway. So, as you can see, nothing's happening. You can look at the wiki, which will be linked in the description, on all the mutations there are, and some of them you will see, like on the far right tab is like how or where to obtain. All the ones that say genetic are ones that you just find through doing this, and then there are ones that you combine two things together. So for instance, if you want the infamous Hulk gene, you have to find the radioactive mutation and the strength mutation. And what you do is you combine those two together and you'll get the Hulk gene pop up. So that's how you do that. And guys, I think that's it. I think I've imparted all my knowledge to you. I believe I've covered everything I wanted to cover. It's still not at max instability, huh? That's surprising. I feel like I should be. Did I not give myself insulated? Anyway, it's not important. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope it helped. Again, I'm so sorry about this fucking text. Oh, here's where it says failed. No mutation created when you're combining things. And if you don't want to look at the wiki, you can just experiment yourself. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. This does not mean that SS13 tutorials are coming back in any real way. I apologize for that, but there's just really not much I want to do right now with SS13. I really haven't been playing it at all in my free time. Just been doing my own things. Playing fucking Harvest Moon type games on my stream. By the way, if you like this, please check out my stream, Twitch, TV/Pengwynd. If you want to support me in a monetary fashion, I'll also link my Streamlabs thing down below. Of course, that's, you know, not something you have to feel you need to do, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped you out. I'll catch you next time.